All right, I don't do a lot of these on my YouTube channel, so I hope you guys will enjoy it, because today I'm reviewing the backpack that I've had over the last 2 years, and I've hiked and backpacked over 700 plus miles with all over the country. It is the Zpacks Arc Haul 70-liter ultralight backpack. I'm gonna tell you what I like, what I don't like, if anything, because I freaking love this thing, and whether it's for you or not. I hope you guys will enjoy today's video. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Jamie McCracken. I really appreciate you coming to today's gear review video. I don't do a lot of these, as I said in the intro, but I hope you guys will enjoy this one. And as I said, I'm going to be reviewing the only backpack I've used the last 2 years on all of my backpacking trips all over the country, in the desert, on high peaks, and even on the beach. So I'll let you know what I think of it. And we're going to start with just the material itself. This is Ultra 200 fabric. It is so hard to tear. I've had this thing in slot canyons recently, out in Canyonlands, just scraping it all over the place, and nothing has happened to it. I don't have a single scratch on this thing. Now, the one thing I do have is I have a bit of a hole on the outer mesh here, and that is from when I was on a suspension bridge in Savage Gulf State Park out in Tennessee. I kind of turned with the backpack on and it hit one of like the wires and just got caught in there and ripped it. So this netting is obviously not Ultra 200 fabric, but it's a very small hole and it has not expanded at all. Also, if you wanted to, I could send this into to Zpacks and they would replace it for me, or they would send it to me and teach me how to do it. Actually, I don't know if they teach me or not, because this is pretty much sewn on, so this probably have to go back. But it hasn't really bothered me because I don't carry small items in the backpack itself, or in the mesh pack itself. So I just have not really worried about it. Other than that, though, there is not a single scratch, tear, or anything on this, and that is very impressive to me. There's a reason why this backpack is, what, $450, and it is because you are paying for the material. Also, the material is super ultra light. So this entire backpack by itself only weighs 20 ounces, I believe. So with nothing in it, it's like a piece of computer paper, which is incredible. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is how this backpack is structured. So it fits a lot of stuff. I mean, it is a 70-liter backpack. It is just a big hole. So it's a roll down top. A lot of people, it's kind of controversial. They don't like it. They want to have their little compartments and organize things, but it's just a big hole. So I've found a way to just kind of organize it depending on what kind of trip I'm taking. But usually I'll put like a sleeping bag and a sleeping pad down there first to set the base. And then I can put my cook pot up against the side down in there. But yeah, I mean, I barely had this thing full today because I'm just on day hikes, but it fits a ton. I mean, this comes up above my knee, hence the 70 liter. So it fits a ton. I like it. I like just being able to roll it up, put things in there. I found a way to organize it well myself, and then the roll down top. Now today I don't have it full at all, so yeah, we don't have like this thing. It can really scrunch up too if you wanted it to, but it's pretty simple. I have really liked that. I've not had any leaks or anything get inside the pack. Of course, the Ultra 200 fabric is super waterproof as well, so no problems with that. I've even put it in a bathtub and no water leaks in it, as long as I have this rolled down top and these little things clipped in. So it's pretty nice. Another thing I've really enjoyed about the pack is this space I have in between my back. So Zpacks has done a good job of creating like this curve, so my back is never really hitting, as long as I'm properly dialed in, it's never really hitting the pack. So it's never scrunched up against me and rubbing up. I've always got this space, which is nice, and I've got a trampoline back, which allows wind to kind of come in and keep the sweat down as well and cool me off. But that has been a really nice feature of the Zpacks Arc Haul. I really like it. It just kind of stays off your back, and of course you got the load lifters up here, which I'll show. And if you dial it in correctly, this thing is just perfect. I've really liked that. It transfers a lot of the weight down into the hips where it should be and off of your shoulders. Right here you got the load lifters, which is really nice, and these are super easy to adjust. Got these little clips on them, which has just been fantastic. Easy, easy, easy. By the way, I have no extra features on the pack. You do have to buy the hip belt separately. It comes attached once you buy it, but that's what makes this pack about $465, I believe. So the pack itself, I think, is $400. By the time you get the hip belt, it's like $460. And the only other feature I got, so I did not get any of, you know, they've got like the front pocket things that you can attach for like a bear canister or a water bottle. I didn't get any of that. The only other thing I got was the bear strap. And the bear strap right here, this is the one. You also had the V strap. So I think I spent like an extra $9 to get this. And the funny thing is, I never had to use it. So you can strap something on top and then you clip it in over here. Can't do this with both hands, but you clip it in over here. I've never had to use it. You know, the pack fits just so much inside. I've never had to strap anything on top. However, that gets me to maybe one of my only negatives. Actually, wait, before I get to one of the negatives, I also wanted to tell you that you've got these carbon fiber bars up here. So it kind of just goes and then down the side to create that S shape. Hopefully you guys can see it right there. That's nice for keeping that pack nice and sturdy when you have the weight in it. So it doesn't, you know, flop around or feel like it's just moving with you. So that's been really great. Now, the downside to the pack and what I've noticed on heavier carry days. So through like the desert and a couple of my other trips, I know the Mount Whitney trip for sure. I had 31 or 32 pounds to start that trek with. Anything over 30, this thing starts to kind of get uncomfortable. It says it holds 40 or 50 pounds well, and I believe that. It like I've had, you know, no rips or breakthroughs or anything like that. I'm sure it could probably carry 100 pounds with this Ultra 200 fabric. It's amazing. But as far as comfortability, anything over 30, it doesn't feel very comfortable. It starts to, you know, it really starts to get your shoulders and all that. And the shoulder pads are really nice and padded and everything. It kind of wear and tears on you along with the hip belt. So the hip belt is pretty comfortable too, if I can get it wrapped around here. But it's not like ultra, like, let's see if I can get this. It's not like ultra thick or anything, so it can really rub against you too. And the more weight you have in this pack, you know, it's not really built for that. So a lot of people who are in the market of buying one of these ultralight backpacks are ultralight backpackers, of course. So a lot of the people are not carrying more than maybe 25 pounds, if that. I know a lot of super crazy ultralighters are carrying like 12, 13 pounds. So they get their gear really dialed in. So the less weight, the better, of course, for an ultralight pack. But I have tested it enough to say anything over 30 pounds, it gets uncomfortable kind of quick, actually. I have found anywhere between 20 to 25 pounds has just been fantastic for me. That's what's worked well for me. Now, if I have the big water carry where I'm carrying like 4 or 5 liters of water, you know, that does weigh the pack down, and you got to consider that. So one of the big downsides, if you got heavy gear stuff, which, you know, I don't have very much of. My sleeping pad is pretty ultralight. Almost all of my gear is ultralight. It's just when I have big water carries or big food carries that I found I have a little bit too much weight, and carrying that up a mountain on high altitude like I did in Mount Whitney, it really wore and tore me. And I've done the same thing in the Great Smoky Mountains. I've had a big climb the day I had maybe 29, 30 pounds in my pack, and it was just super uncomfortable with like a bear can and all of those things that add up in there. So if you're carrying over 30 pounds, be careful, because this thing's not gonna break, but it's gonna feel pretty uncomfortable. A great feature that comes with the pack on the shoulder pads are these little daisy chains, as you see, going up and down both sides of the shoulder straps. And I only carry this little Black Diamond ultralight carabiner, and I use this to clip on my bear spray. So you've seen that in a lot of videos. I'll have my bear spray clipped up here, and it's easy access. I can just clip it, boom, get the bear spray off and ready to fire if needed. Other than that, I really haven't used these. You can obviously clip on some attachments. They've got, I know Zpacks has like a water bottle carrier that they have. They have another little pouch that you can buy from them. Same thing with the my goodness, the hip belt. I couldn't think there for a second. Now, they don't have, I guess they do. I have a couple of daisy chains down here. I've never used them, but you can also buy like hip belt compartments, little pads that go, you know, around it that you can stuff stuff in. I found no use for that, so I didn't buy them. I keep all my snacks like actually in the pack, and yeah, it's kind of annoying. You take the bear can out, or take the air sack out, or whatever you're carrying your food in, and you know, take out the snacks. So those would be kind of nice. I found on some trips where I'm like, man, it'd be nice just to have a little pocket there in the belt, but I can always purchase and clip those on and add those on as well. But I've really liked the little daisy chains here, especially for just carrying my bear spray around right here on this carabiner. And of course you can get the water bottle carrier and stick the bear spray in as well. And it's probably a little bit easier to access. So I have actually considered that. Now earlier I said I never strapped anything to the top of my pack because it's got so much, you know, space and room inside the pack. But what I have done, as you've seen in probably most of my trips, I have clipped stuff on the bottom of the pack. And really when I say stuff, it's only been this little sit pad that Zpacks has. And by the way, I am not sponsored or anything like that by Zpacks. I bought all of this stuff on my own. I just really like their gear. If they want to sponsor me, I would take it. But anyways, I have this like little $10 sit pad that I clip on, and I'm going to put the backpack down now to show you how these little clips kind of come on and off. Super easy to attach things like this onto the pack. So you see here, there's these little like strings, and you just kind of, you can loosen it up just by pulling this. Come over here, do the same thing, and it slides right out. You got the little sit pad. I like keeping that on the outside, easy access. And you can slide it right back in. And to tighten these up, you just take the other string, if I can get it, and this little thing right here, you just pull, boop, tighten it, and tighten it. There you go. I've never had it really fall out or anything like that. So it's been really nice. You can attach maybe a chair or a sleeping bag. You can attach a lot of things down here. You can see you have a lot of rope to work with. So you could really, this could be a bulkier item down here if you wanted, but I've only carried my sit pad. It's never fallen off or anything like that, and I really like it. And the entire system's kind of like that with Zpacks. So it's the same thing over here on the side compartment. So you see these little strings, and this is a little bit more of a complex system because it runs up through here on the pack. Let me tilt that camera up. So just kind of up here, but it's the same thing. It's the same little chains up here. You can really tighten stuff up. And that also tightens the mesh, the netting on the outside too. So it's super easy to adjust this thing, which has been awesome. You don't have to like know a lot about the backpack. And then to loosen it, you just kind of, you flip this up, you pull the opposite side of the string out, and there you go. So when I'm doing like a big water carry, especially on the outside, if I can have two smart water liter bottles down in there, and it fits perfectly fine, and I can fit two more over here. Right now today I have my hiking poles out, but you can see how loose that is. I could come up here and just tighten this to get, I can't do it with one hand, but to get these snug and up against the pack. So it's a really nice feature that Zpacks has on their backpacks as well. Just a note on these backpacks, you know, Zpacks doesn't really come out with new backpacks, which has been really nice. Once they created this thing, I have not seen anything new except for, I think they have a blue one now. It's the same material and all that, but they used to only have black and gray. Now they have a blue one. But they only maybe tweak a couple little things. They don't really create new stuff. So once you get this thing, you're set because they know their product is really freaking good. You rarely see anybody complain about these things. And it's one of the reasons why I dropped the coin to get this right off the bat when I started my backpacking journey 2 years ago. Because I said, you know what? I want something that's trusted, and I want something that is going to be extremely durable and last me hopefully a long time. So I dropped the $460 some it was, but it's been freaking awesome. Not sure how much of a negative this is, but I will say if you don't have a good bit in the pack, it can carry kind of weird and look weird. So you want to have it at least halfway full. I know that sounds weird, especially if you're doing like a day hike like I did today. I really don't need this thing. It's way overkill. But I didn't take my little day pack that I have. It's like a North Face because I'm reviewing this today. So I kind of stuffed it with a little bit of stuff. I probably got about 8 pounds in there right now with my like Helinox Chair Zero and a sleeping pad and a sleeping bag. But yeah, it can look kind of weird, and it's actually a little bit harder to dial in if it doesn't have a good bit of gear in it because, you know, the toggles only go so far. I mean, you have a ton of rope to work with. As I said, like up here, you can tighten it up. But it can look like a goofy backpack if you don't have a decent amount of gear in it. It's only about a fourth to a half of the way full, and it actually looks pretty good today. But just imagine if it isn't stuffed, it's just going to look like a piece of air that's kind of scrunched up. It's hard to tell without like the gear out of it, but I don't know if that's a negative. I mean, it's such a light backpack, 20 ounces with nothing in it. It's incredible. And the fact that it's just like extremely tear resistant because of the Ultra 200 fabric. So, would I recommend this backpack? Short answer, heck yes. 10 out of 10, 5 stars for me. With the one caveat, if you're gonna be carrying anywhere from 28 to 30 plus pounds, which a ton of backpackers do, especially if you're just getting into backpacking, I would not recommend the pack. One, it's super expensive, so you better like backpacking and use it often. And two, if you're not used to carrying ultralight equipment, or you don't have the money or can afford the ultralight equipment, because let's be honest, it's way more expensive than regular equipment, then I wouldn't recommend the pack. But for anybody who loves backpacking and is dialed in with their gear and is gonna carry probably anywhere from, 15 to 25 pounds on a backpacking trip, it's fantastic. The only reason I would get a different pack is to maybe dial in like a heavier load, like a different kind of backpacking trip. But for right now, I love this thing. It's going to continue to come with me until further notice, and I've loved it. 700 plus miles. Let's put another 700 miles on this thing and see how it does. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like it. Please subscribe if you really enjoy the channel. Of course, I don't do a lot of gear reviews, so don't expect these all the time. But I wanted to come out here today, now that I've had a ton of experience with this thing, and tell you what I thought. And also, of course, you can join. You can click the join button and become a member. That helps me out tremendously. I can do more trips. I can do more gear reviews, anything you guys want to do. There's 3 different tiers there. You can become an associate producer, a producer, or an executive producer. You can just click join, check that out. It has all the information. But yeah, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.